Produced by and starring Jennifer Lopez, Atlas is a new Netflix sci-fi event movie that touches on some interesting ideas, but then fumbles the whole thing with a lackluster and inconsistent plotting that feels all too familiar. Lopez plays Atlas Shepard, an analyst with a deep distrust of artificial intelligence, who's called up to help the military track down a rogue AI terrorist named Harlan, played by Simu Liu. Harlan, 28 years earlier, had led a machine revolution against humanity that led to millions dead before an international coalition sent Harlan fleeing into the void of space, vowing to return one day. Atlas finds that she needs to bond with an AI-controlled power suit in order to capture Harlan, leading to internal conflict as old memories and past guilt come to the surface. Can Atlas learn to love again in order to... can Atlas learn to trust the AI in order to save mankind? So, a little bit of Terminator, a little touch of Aliens, and a huge dollop of a rom-com style drama combine to deliver a film that looks good at times, but never really seems to know what it is doing. With director Brad Peyton in charge, who's delivered such films as Rampage, San Andreas, and Journey 2, you can kind of see why the end result just feels like a flashy, generic mess of ideas that never fully forms. Right from the early part of the film, when we find out that Atlas distrusts AI, I found myself puzzled as to why she lives in a home that is run by an Alexa style of AI system, only more advanced. In addition, humanity itself was at threat from an AI revolution, yet seemingly they then spread the use of AI even further in the aftermath because, well, reasons. The only fob-off excuse that we get to this is that the new AI is somehow better, and so it won't go rogue. It's dismissive elements like that that didn't quite wash with me and left me simply puzzled instead. Lopez is great, that's worth saying. And the slow building romance, the trust between her and the AI who controls her power suit, Smith, voiced well enough by Gregory James Cohen, plays well in a similar manner to buddy cop films of the past few decades. And indeed, comparisons can be drawn with films such as Alien Nation, which had a similar distrust of what was once your enemy. But the film around it just feels underthought and underdeveloped, resulting in just your typical run-of-the-mill Netflix offering that outstayed its welcome just past the halfway mark. If you want a film that feels like it could have tackled some grand ideas, but drops the ball multiple times, but does boast some decent performances and a few thrilling set pieces, this might just about appease. Two schoolchildren, Alana and Rabin, are abducted by a man named Jack, who takes them to an isolated house where Rabin is locked in an attic room, whilst Alana remains locked in the trunk of the car. She escapes from her confines and then sneaks around the house trying to free her friend, discovering the sinister fate that will befall the pair if they don't manage to escape. And so begins a tense game of cat and mouse as the kidnapper starts to suspect someone is in the house with him. This film dropped onto Netflix with the disclaimer that it contains no dialogue, which intrigued me. However, much like other films which have tried this approach, it doesn't entirely work. Yes, it helps capture the tension as Alana's sneaking around, desperate to not make a sound, and in many moments the gimmick does work a treat. But sadly, the contrivance of silence also breaks the film at various points, such as when phone calls are made. These moments just seem ridiculous without any words, as do the moments when the kidnapper confronts Alana without any dialogue. Other films that have tried a similar approach, such as Silent Night last year, suffered in exactly the same way, sadly diminishing the overall film. There's also a bizarre choice of distorted background noise that plays throughout the film, which does its job of unsettling before it becomes distracting and then just somewhat annoying. Kudos, however, to the small cast on offer who sell the basic concept well. Alex Abad is menacingly casually twisted as the kidnapper, but it is Anantia Kirana as the young girl, Alana, that really stands out. She really draws you into her frighteningly tense plight as she tries desperately to save her friend. This is a simple single location film with a tight runtime, a small cast, and the only thing that lets down Monster really is that insistence on the silence gimmick. Had that not been an approach taken by the filmmakers, this could have been something much stronger as a result.